shit. Here we go again.
Yeah, bitch! Magnet! Oh!
地球の心と物質
Damn. All right, when you put it, the bubble's gonna be floating away.
My lips are too chapped.
Yo, actually, this morning, that's the one thing I didn't put on. Or two things actually. I didn't put on deodorant or chapstick, and that sucks.
Damn.
So on a summer day, you gotta put deodorant on. You can't fuck up the night, especially if it's a long day. Cause you got no sweater to like kind of, you know, when you have a deodorant, but you're wearing a sweater, so it kind of like limits.
It's like a layer.
Yeah, it limits that length they could travel, that BO. But in the winter, bro, you can go without deodorant because your pits don't stink as much. You know, you don't got the sweat coming in.
Stop.
Yeah, we asked for you last episode. Fucking Google. No, I'm kidding. But when you go out in the winter without chapstick, bro, nah, that's a nah, man. That's a no for me, dog.
That's like putting fucking like a blow dryer on my lips and just going turning that shit to crack and break.
Even then, even though the wind is cold outside and the blow dryer is higher, but that's beside the point. Can you do cold air on the blow dryer?
Yeah.
Really? I don't use blow dryers like that, to be honest with you.
I can tell.
Damn. Anyway.
I'm sorry I had to do you like that, but you know, the opportunity was there. I had to strike
in front of all my friends.
in front of everyone.
But we are back. Thank you for coming back and listening. This is our 4th episode of the new season, but episode 52. 52, two more than 50 Cent. And
you know, the DC New 52. That's when they did their reboot of their universe back in 2011.
The fuck you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean?
I think in either 2009 or 2011, DC rebooted the DC universe and they relaunched it as the New 52.
I don't know that.
Because they launched it with 52 new titles.
Oh.
So 52 has like a sort of significant number in the DC universe. So this
Gotcha.
is a significant episode.
Sorry, my bad. So sorry.
God, and you call yourself a nerd? You're too cool, Frankie. Okay.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
God, with your hoodlum beanie.
Yo, bro, shout out my beanie, bro. Shout out my Carhartt beanie. I got this sent to me from Carhartt themselves. They were like, yo, Frankie, thanks. I was like, you're welcome. What? Of course.
Now, when I upload this episode and when it asks me if there's any product placements,
you
I'm
can
going
put
to have to
Carhartt.
put yes.
You can put Carhartt and what's it called? Victoria's Secret. You know, right? There's a big sale going on right now.
You know, I'm wearing red right now for anyone that wants to
For
know.
Lunar New Year?
You know.
For Lunar New Year?
This one's for you.
Shout out Year of the Dragon. Shout out Year of the Dragon. But what we are on episode 52. What are we doing today?
Talking about what's going on in the earth.
In our minds.
And this is why it matters.
This is Earth, Mind, and Matter. Our A.M.C. episodes. So usually with our episodes, bi-weekly, we kind of change it up. Well, not really. Like, you know, whatever. Every week, we go from one to the other. One of us co-hosts the show. And we talk about the news and what's going on in the world, anything, trending topics. And then the next episode, we cover either an album, a movie, or a comic. And we follow that order while we go back and forth. Now, yeah, that may have sounded confusing, but we're talking about motherfucking movie today.
Yeah. So I hosted last news episode. I'm hosting this A.M.C. episode. Next episode, we'll go back to Frankie.
Yeah.
For the news.
Yeah.
So this episode, as Frankie said, we're talking about a movie for the A.M.C. section.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's a pretty cool movie. Pretty cool.
Pretty fucking cool. Like so cool, man. Like if I had a daughter, this movie could probably date my daughter.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You know what I mean?
But as y'all can see from the title, we are looking at Mad Max Fury Road.
Hell yeah, bro.
And this movie is fucking nutty.
Yeah, man. It is.
This movie was directed by George Miller. It came out, what year did it come out? I think it came out in 2016, if I remember correctly. I had it written down and then I lost it.
How dare you, bro?
But yeah, it came out about 2016.
Yeah.
And directed by George Miller, who also directed the original Mad Max films that starred what's his face? The Passion of the Christ dude, Mel Gibson.
You know what's funny? Because that's actually the reason I started going to Paris Theater, which I mentioned last episode. And I'm mentioning it now because they're a theater in Manhattan, like near the Apple Store on Fifth Ave. And whenever I would go at work, I would pass them by and I would be like, oh, this theater looks interesting. And I thought it was just there. And apparently it had closed down after being there for a while. And Netflix had reopened it, like they bought it and reopened it.
Yeah.
With the promise of providing very good quality sound.
And they wanted to do that so they could get their Netflix films out for Oscar nominations.
AKA The Killer was one of them. The Killer was actually in the theater, but that was, what's his name again?
David Finch.
David Finch. And so I saw, even before I've ever been there, which is a cool theater, the fucking noise, the sound is incredible, I will say. Super fucking nice. But I saw they had Mad Max with Mel Gibson playing in that theater. And I actually wanted to go watch it. So I wish I didn't, but I missed that chance. But I've never seen any Mad Max outside of this. This is the only Mad Max I've ever seen in my life.
This is the first one that I've seen. And then after seeing this one, I went back and watched the original ones.
Nice.
The original ones, they get a little worse with each one.
Of course.
The first one is very good.
Then it gets a little worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're still pretty classic. They still have a very distinct style. And it's just the really cool thing. The first thing that I'm going to throw out immediately with this movie for Mad Max Fury Road. Well, first of all, correction, it came out 2015. Second of all, the script for this was written down on a napkin in bullet points in 1997.
That's insane. Wait, but the whole script or like an outline of the script?
Just a basic outline of the movie. Like George Miller wrote it down on a napkin on a flight in 1997, and he was like, "This is what this movie's gonna be."
You know, it's funny. Actually, the contract that Messi's father had signed for him was written on a I think toilet paper. Like
Nice.
I'll get that story correct next time. But when they were having a contract for Messi, they basically had his whole contract. Lionel Messi, like the soccer player, they had his whole contract on a piece of paper, and I think it's being auctioned off right now for like mad guap.
Wow.
Also, if you're watching the video and not just listening to the audio, if you see us referring, like looking to the right side, it's because the movie's playing right in front of us.
Right.
We watched the movie, so we're not gonna pay attention. But it's a good reference, and this movie's badass. It's fucking, it's so visually pleasing, I'll say. So yeah, if you see that and you get distracted, fuck off. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, I just really wanted to throw out that quick fact because
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Like because I think something that is just so apparent with this movie from the get go, and by the time you finish it, is that it is just such a simple movie.
It is. It's super simple.
It is so simple. The bullet points are like 4 or 5 bullet points, and that's the whole fucking movie.
Wow.
Like that napkin is this movie. Like
very much so.
It's insane how simplistic the plot is to this movie, yet it fucking does so much. And it's not even that long of a movie either.
Yeah, no, it's probably like less than 2 hours for sure. Because I watched maybe 25 minutes and then I stopped and I watched it again in the morning. But
it's 2 hours.
Yeah. And what would you say is a brief synopsis of this movie?
So what I would give the synopsis as is that the titular character Max is kind of captured by this group that's led by this dude Morton Joe, and Morton Joe sends this chick Furiosa to go deliver an oil rig to another location. Yeah, and she says, "Fuck that! I'm dipping out of this place. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
And I'm taking the woman that you used to foster your child and stuff like that, or birth your child's forcibly." And would you say this is like a dystopian society?
It's post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic,
yeah,
okay.
It's definitely post-apocalyptic.
So, and then he restricts his people. He rules the area where they're around. He restricts his people from water intake. And every now and then he'll provide them with just a glimpse, or not like a little bit of water for all the people. But they normally are... They're basically thriving through the use of oil. Right. Like oil is their biggest source of everything here.
Yeah. And for people who haven't seen Mad Max before, or like any of the Mad Max movies, is that another cool fun fact about the Mad Max universe is that the reason why the cars are so old isn't because the originals were made in like the 80s or whatever. Yeah. It's because older cars were just built tougher.
Used primarily that source, would you say? Like, no, they were built tougher. I would say that. Okay.
Yeah, so they were just generally built tougher.
That's awesome.
So that's why like there's no like fancy looking cars in the Mad Max universe.
And they were heavier, no? They used to be heavy as fuck.
So it's just that's why the cars look the way they do in this universe, because older cars were just built tougher.
More resilient and everything.
Yeah. So that's another cool little fun fact about it.
Bro. There's one car that I don't know shit about cars. So if you're a car freak, that sucks for you. But it's one of those old looking cars, like a Camaro. Not a Camaro, not at all. But instead of wheels, it had tank. Yes. It had the tank wheels and everything, like you would see in the army. But it was a car on top of it. Yeah. And that was fucking awesome. Man.
Tank threads, is that what they call
some
it?
shit like that. Who cares? You know, we're not car freaks nor in the army.
Speak for yourself.
That was a good impression of a car.
But Yeah, and the whole thing, Max just gets caught up in the whole mix.
Yeah.
And just gets sucked into this, and it just becomes a quick little adventure.
He gets kidnapped real quick.
Little quick kidnap.
Yeah.
But this movie is kind of like, which is a more newer term today, where people are calling it requels, which is a reboot sequel.
Oh, nice.
So this movie is definitely like one of the more earlier requels to have come out in recent history.
Okay.
Because again, 2015, other movies weren't really doing this too much. Where basically what that means is that while this is a reboot, it still takes place in the same universe of the original films.
Gotcha. I'm trying to think of one that is a requel now. That people were upset about, so they made it again.
Well, I mean, the latest Scream movie is technically a requel.
Gotcha. Which I heard was good.
Yes, it was amazing. But the latest Star Wars trilogy, the first one was considered a requel. So it's just like
it's happened before in the past.
Yeah, it's happening more now. But like I would say, this is one of the earlier ones that did.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so, yeah, there's definitely some context that like could be missing if you haven't seen the original films.
But you can 100% enjoy it without. But you don't need that shit whatsoever.
You still follow along perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not confusing whatsoever. It's because it's just so simple.
It's super simple.
It's so simple.
I will say, it's so strange. Like right now, we're looking at the screen. There's like a little person, kind of deformed in whatever sense you would say. Just kind of everybody looks crazy in this movie. You know? But I'm sure they use actual people, you know, who are built like that. But I'll say this, because of the crazy characters you get introduced to in the beginning and all that stuff and how they're acting. Even how Immortus Joe, who basically is the evil leader of the people in this area in the desert. I wasn't fond of it the first time I watched it for like the first 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
When I watched it, I was like, what is this? I almost looked at it like a Disneyland, like kind of, in terms of characters. There's so much stuff. I was like, this is going to be absurd. And then halfway through it, I was just like, this is fucking awesome, bro. Like, you know, you just fall into it like, hey, what the fuck, bro? And action wise, story wise, again, the simplicity, like you're not overwhelmed with like, this is this guy and this is the history of this and why they lead. No, it's just you get the point of everything because they're not trying hard to fucking sell you anything. They're just showing you a badass film that's really, really well done.
And like George Miller, great director. He's for people who are unfamiliar, he's done things like Night of the Living Dead. He also funnily did Happy Feet.
No way. Happy Wheels though. I seen that in theaters.
So
don't put. Let me stop.
Cause I'm close to the edge.
We fucked that shit up.
We totally fucked it up. But y'all got it. Y'all got
it. Nice, bro. Dry ass lips over here, bro. Happy Feet.
But yeah, so George Miller, very credited director.
Yeah.
And he created the Mad Max universe. So he really wanted to come back and do this. And again, this came out in 2015. The last one came out.
Did he do the other Mad Maxes?
He did.
The first ones like with Mel Gibson and stuff like that?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So he really wanted to come back to this universe and do something new for a more modern audience. And even with the cast, like it's a very like, even though they're not newer actors, like they're still like pretty big names attached to
Halle Berry's in it.
Fucking, I mean, as a cast, you got Tom Hardy, you got Charlize.
Where is Tom Hardy from? I don't even know him from other movies. He kind of reminds me of Gerard Butler, which is, I'm sorry, Tom Hardy.
Damn. Yikes.
Why would you say that? That's how so Tom Hardy talks like that in the movie. It's kind of like, what is that film?
Maestro?
No. There's a film, John Wick. Where John Wick has like 60 words that he says. But here, Tom Hardy, like, what does he say? Like, no, like, hand it to me.
We'll go back.
Yeah.
And then take it back.
He just sounds so like, because in the beginning it makes sense because his mouth is so dry. Hand me that. But then the whole movie continues that. And actually, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. His voice is perfect for that. It's so cool, man. It's so dope.
And it's like, you got Tom Hardy, Charlize Theron, like you mentioned, Halle Berry. Other people in this movie. There was I'm forgetting who. Nicholas Hoult, who plays Nux.
Okay.
And it's such a crazy movie. It's so balls to the walls, insane. And something that really like blew me away with this movie, which I think is pretty noticeable to like even general audience, like general moviegoers who like aren't super like looking for things in film and whatever, is that 80% of the effects in this movie are practical effects.
There's one effect. I don't know if you can hand me your remote real quick. I want to show you. This is a more visual thing, so we'll skip this real quick, audio wise, unless you're curious. But let me tell you actually. Look right here when Nuck is calling his boy over.
Mhm.
Hold on. Okay, right here. I think. Okay, this scene right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at how the camera like kind of boom
Right
here. I think this guy dubs his shit, and then this guy. Look how it comes back a little. Oh, now look at. You see? You saw that?
Oh wow!
Did you see that?
That's
Isn't that kind of
interesting.
crazy? Like it was like a vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm
Yeah,
saying, right?
wow.
When I saw that, I was like, wait, what?
That is.
Like what happened there? I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it one more time. Like, did the thing go in reverse or?
Yeah, I that is interesting. I didn't even catch that. What
the fuck is that, right? So
Wow.
we'll put that in maybe in supplementary. Okay, so we're back. There's a specific scene. Be on the lookout or something. We'll post it. It's such an interesting scene. But like you said, practical effects. That's probably something very simple to have done. It's hard to explain.
It was not.
Oh no.
simple.
Okay. Well, that was weird. What we just saw.
The reason why like
Mhm.
companies don't do practical effects as much anymore
Yeah.
is because of how time consuming it is.
Because you got to shoot it over and over again, or
Yeah.
is it technological?
It
Mhm.
I mean, like, one example I can think of is like the makeup.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh hell yeah!
these guys are painted white and stuff. They
Mhm.
had to sit down
Every single person.
every single day when they shot to
and make
get
it
painted
exactly the
white.
same. You can't. That's one thing I remember. I forgot what movie it is, or a movie that was explaining a movie, like how to make a movie.
Mhm.
But it was like, you know, when you make something, you have to photograph them how they look before and after and during, and you have to make sure you recapture every single little thing because someone will point out the lipstick is wrong, the
Right,
hair is in the wrong
there's
way. Mhm.
I always think about this. There's a scene I think in the movie Dear John with Channing Tatum,
Yeah,
where there's like a scene where he's standing, he goes to the army or military, and by the end he's standing talking to this chick. He's got his pins on his jacket.
yeah.
One shot they're facing down, next shot facing up.
You can't do that, man. Like, and you I mean, bro, you make that mistake in a major movie, like a classic. It's almost it's crazy how Quentin Tarantino is so good that even in Reservoir Dogs, where the boom is in the reflection of the car, like even that's still like kind of badass. But it's a mistake. It's a mistake overall. You know?
There's this really good quote that
Mhm.
Jonah Hill was told by Steven Spielberg, where Steven Spielberg goes by this motto of that work so hard that it looks like you didn't do anything.
Exactly, because that's what it should look like. Because you're like, man, it's so much that goes into it. I imagine. And
like,
first of all,
imagine this. Like, this is all practical.
Right now, we're looking at the scene where the guy's playing a guitar with flames coming out of
He's
it,
blind.
a bunch of speakers behind him. He's blind, followed by a bunch of crazy looking vehicles following him, and it's basically in the old times during the Civil War when they would have some motherfucker play the clarinet
Yeah.
while they're rushing into war.
But this dude
Or
is
the
just playing
drums,
heavy metal.
and it's so good. That actually was one of my favorite. And if you've seen Mad Max, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, watch it or just look up guitar player in Mad Max Fury Road. He's a
Yeah.
badass character.
There's
and
even
it
that funny.
adds so much.
There's even that funny moment when he wakes up and he's like in like the
yeah, the hammock almost or the
hammock,
strings.
and he kind of just like pops up and just
Yeah.
plays immediately.
And it does
Like,
so much for the thing. And it's crazy how Immortan Joe, he's such a powerful character in this movie, basically the leader of all these people. But he's like, nah, bring the guitar guy.
Yeah.
we need this bad.
We need this motherfucker right here.
Yeah.
Like this shot here with
Uh-huh.
the colorful little explosions.
Yeah.
Another fun fact: this was practical, but
Yeah.
mixed with CGI. Those colorful explosions,
Yeah.
where they were just blank explosions,
But they color
but
coded.
then they
everything.
color coded them.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff like that.
Mhm. And basically,
because-
what we're talking about is basically flares being shot into the air that were either red or orange when they exploded, and that's when they signify an attack is coming. I'm assuming
Mhm.
because they do that later in the movie when,
Yeah,
some
and
reason.
like I said, fucking 80% of this was done practically.
That's insane.
Like
Mhm.
the scene when Tom Hardy is on the fucking like pole and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
swings around
Oh,
and his head is
yeah.
inches from the ground. They did that.
That's insane.
They fucking
That's
did that.
I know. Not to bring up Quentin Tarantino again, but in Death Proof,
Mhm.
there's a scene where I forget who the main. I don't know who the main character was. I never watched the movie. That one I never seen. But there was one scene where she was really in danger because they had her like on the front windshield of the car or something like that.
Okay.
And they had to reshoot it over again and this and that. And there were just not a lot of safety procedures. So
Yeah.
she could have really been hurt. And I think this is a very big sidetrack. Sorry. But did you know that nowadays, I read this article maybe like 2-3 years ago. There's like like consultants now for like movies.
Yes.
And that wasn't really a big thing before. But now it's becoming a much larger industry.
Yeah.
Where basically they will direct and basically consent to everything. Like, do you consent? Are you comfortable in this and that?
Right.
And now they have that. So that's a big upcoming thing for movies coming out now, especially post Weinstein. The PW era is like, no, I'm kidding. Because that has nothing to do with the movies going on. But back to Mad Max. That scene, because basically, and again, I'm trying to like paint the picture for those who haven't seen it.
Right.
But there's cars that are chasing Max and Furiosa and everything. And of the cars, I mean, it's a crazy movie, so you really have to watch it to get it. But there's a guy on a big pole stemming from the car's base that swivels back and forth. You know, kind of made so you're able to access and throw these spears that explode into other people's vehicles.
Like imagine like a super bendy flagpole,
basically,
and it's like this
somebody at the
just
top
of the flagpole,
Yeah.
and they can just swing over to just like throw like a spike bomb in like someone's car.
And
So there's a scene where Tom Hardy gets grabbed by one of the dudes on top of there, and now he's at the top of the flag, and he's never fucking been on this, so he doesn't know how to control it, so he just ends up flopping over to one side, and his head is inches above the ground.
Crazy.
While they are driving fast as fuck in the middle of the desert.
And I can't imagine his his face. I'm sure there was safety procedures regardless, but doing that and then having the perfect face to react to it, because he was like, oh shit, like, you know, he didn't say it, but his face says it all. I mean, it's incredible, man. You know what was a cool fucking scene when and mind you, most of this movie, at least the beginning, is them in a big oil rig, like a big truck, the war truck. What's what they call it? Oh, that's the other one,
the war rig.
War rig. And but that was the one that is that the one Furiosa's driving?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
When their engine is on fire. And so in order to put it out, they go on a high speed. The front of the truck lowers, and it just brings up this big patch of dirt to put out the fire. Yeah, on their truck. That was incredible.
It's
man.
Like a snowplow type of thing that just goes down, so that way all the dirt or like sand can just fucking calm down the whole engine.
So good, good.
It's so good, and like I mentioned it before. The shot where in Coda, when we covered Coda,
back in episode
47, where there's that shot where they're going out into the storm, and how I mentioned at the time that is so heavily inspired by
this scene right here,
by the scene in Mad Max when they go into the storm.
So crazy.
And it again, this movie came out in 2015, and it's already influencing other artists
100%.
And it just goes to show how much of a master George Miller is.
And it's so original in itself that I don't think I can think of it. I mean, there's of course other movies that are very similar, because there's so much movies out there. But this one to me is so fucking creative in the sense of the characters, the makeup, the story, the cars, the scenery. Yeah. So witness me. Witness. I live, I die, I live again. So fucking impotent Joe. I'm gonna call him Joe. Immortan Joe. He has a lot of followers that are all painted white. But why do they spray themselves in the face with the paint or whatever?
To be shiny for Valhalla.
Okay, so explain that to the people.
So they just have, it's almost like a crazy religion
cult
thing, where,
like, you know?
Yeah, like a cult thing where it's just they believe that when they are about to die, to go out in a warrior's death, and they start shouting, "Witness, witness,
witness me!" And the people are like, "Witness."
And normally before they go out to fuck shit up, they'll say like, "I live, I die, I live again." Yeah. Because they believe in that whole idea that once you die, you go to Valhalla, which is like a whole Viking thing and
70
stuff.
virgins.
And Norse mythology. But yeah, so
that's the fucking silence.
But yeah, and so they just believe in that. So whenever they're about to go out
Yeah.
They get like this white spray can and spray their mouths white and their teeth white and to make it nice and shiny, and then they just go for the kill.
That's
and
awesome.
They're just like, witness.
It's so cool. It's such a great addition to the movie because everybody has like a focus on them, and it's so good. I just, it's hard to like really not keep saying that,
Yeah.
but every aspect of it is so well thought out, and because it's so simple that it plays into each other's hands so well.
Right.
Wow, man.
Because I feel that the simplicity of the movie is
Yeah.
what allows all this freedom
To
and
flourish.
flexibility
Yeah.
to just do whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it's just I've always kind of been a strong believer that the simpler the plot,
Yeah.
the better the movie can be.
100%.
Like you look at another movie with simple plot, like say even like Evil Dead, super simple plot.
Yeah.
And that movie is what it is today now.
And honestly, fucking Inception, I don't like that movie that much. I know a lot of people like that movie. I'm alright with it, and I won't say that because a lot of people are like, "But do you get it? Like, did you get it? Like, is he still dreaming? Is he not? Like, we don't know because it cuts off at the end, you know." But for me, I was just like, "Yeah, but this is ridiculous. Like, this is like this is so dumb. Like to just keep going on and on about." I'm not saying it's a terrible movie. I just think Shutter Island was also like all right. Like I think it was people love it a lot. I think it was a good film. I don't think it was like oh whoa, but I like that one way more because it made a little more sense.
Right.
And it was like, don't try so hard, Christopher Nolan, you piece of shit.
Dude, all I'm saying is Tenet, trash.
I never seen the Tenet.
Oh my god,
Tenet
That-
or the
Tenet.
No, I never seen
That
it.
movie. That movie actually annoyed me. I was like, by the end of it, I was like, oh,
There's a scene
the
right now.
storm scene.
That's an incredible scene. How did they do that?
That is totally CGI.
That has to
That
be
storm
CGI.
is totally CGI.
There was so since I watched it a second time, there was a couple scenes where I saw a little bit of the CGI into effect, but even then, it's so well done that you catch it just slightly,
Right.
But everything else is so bro. I'm telling you, man, this is a great fucking movie. It's really like I don't put it in like my top favorite movies because I know forever it will always never disappoint. Like I just watched this shit like 5 hours ago, and even right now it would be just cool to sit here and just watch the fucking film again. I like Nux too. Nux, he gets a bad
man.
rap. That motherfucker's awesome.
Nah, he has a pretty good redemption story.
Yeah. Oh man,
And,
the ending. No spoilers.
Another good shot is when the war rig flips upside down and stuff.
Witness me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When the war rig flips upside down,
Yeah.
again, that was practical.
Wow,
And
man.
George Miller and crew were really scared for a second
Yeah.
because, like, if you notice, the war rig has a roof window.
Yeah.
And they saw when they were shooting it that it kind of seemed like the guy hit his head through the window.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Like when they flipped the truck, and so they all kind of freaked out.
I can't
for a
believe he was
sec.
in the truck when they did that. That's insane.
It wasn't Nicholas Holt. They got a stunt double. To do it,
He was
but,
watching from the back like witness.
Yeah. But yeah, they got a little scared, but no,
Yeah.
he was fine.
Good.
And it's just,
Wow.
but yeah, you know,
He
they
got
definitely.
paid. Yeah.
Mhm.
How
But-
was the box office for this movie?
Oh, the box
I
office.
know you got those facts.
Yes.
I'm so
Let me Scroll
curious.
down to that.
You scroll, and I'll just say that for Nux, I love his face for the movie.
Yeah.
I feel all the people that are painted white, all like the followers in this cult, they all look pretty similar. But Nux's face expressions in this film and his big round blue eyes, they really speak a lot to what his character is. You know,
Yeah.
like when he's disappointed, you see it, and when he's like psycho rage, you see it,
Mm-hmm.
and when he's like just thinking, and he's like, and his genuine confusion when he's like hyped with Max, and Max punches him in the stomach, he's like, but he's so childlike.
Yeah.
And it's so good, you know, and it really feeds into one of the women that was supposed to birth Eminent Joe's
Morton.
fuck his children. She was like, you're just children that were misled.
Yeah.
You know, it really speaks through his eyes and his face. So even now as he's driving, like you could see he's super focused,
Right.
but he's also very like, what am I doing? Like, what is this
Yeah.
going on? You know, like he's very much a kid still in his
At
brain.
this point, he's just kind of like
Going with the flow.
doing what he can in the moment
Yeah.
and just going with the flow.
Yeah, but he's a fucking warrior, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was the
But
box office?
The box office, at this point in time, when it premiered, it grossed $380 million.
Gee, how much it cost to make? Probably a shitload, right? 200 mil.
It actually wasn't that expensive.
Wow.
And on top of that, this made it the biggest, most grossing Mad Max movie ever.
Wow.
And it had a budget of 185.
Wow, so it kind of almost doubled its shit and everything, right?
Yeah. But something that people don't know too much about is that, like, when you look at movie budgets, you have to look at how much the original budget is and then
how much they have to add on post.
And then, roughly double that for marketing and all that stuff and advertising.
Okay. Still 100 mil.
So, yeah, people kind of consider the movie a flop for that reason because it's like they didn't necessarily like make a huge gross or anything like that. But it's just such an amazing film.
I think that's when if you're a director and that's the case, you just take the L and you can die knowing that you made a movie that's forever gonna be so good.
I mean, and now we're getting the sequel to it or prequel.
It's coming out soon.
There's a prequel to it. Focus on Furiosa, starring Anya Taylor-Joy.
Okay, she's gonna kill that. That's so funny, man. Because I was just thinking of a movie, not a movie like this, but I guess when a movie came to mind is The Northman. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if you've seen yet.
I did.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was all right.
It was all right, right? Yeah. Nothing crazy. But I think it was actually ridiculous. William Dafoe did not have to be in it. Bjork did not have to be in it. It was kind of ridiculous. Anya Taylor-Joy, though, don't mind her being in it. But I will say, she is I like Florence Pugh a lot because she's willing to do a lot of roles, both like on two separate spectrums, especially Midsommar and like Don't Worry My Darling, whatever, is two separate spectrums. But I think Anya Taylor-Joy is a true like adventurer when it comes to cinema. She almost reminds me of like Jenna Ortega, who will do something like Wednesday, and then she'll always post her face being battered, like looking like she got a black eye. She actually did a scene with like a 60-year-old guy. I don't know if you heard her new movie. So there's a new movie out with her right now.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna go watch it, but I was like, I don't really care. It looks kind of like boring. What's it called? But she like makes out with some guy who's like 60 years old, like there's a 30-year-old age gap, and a lot of people are like kind of like off by that. But I think that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to like Jenna Ortega or Anya Taylor-Joy, Anya Taylor-Joy basically got naked for The Northman. Like she was basically naked fully. And I'm not saying these are what it takes for a film to be great, but I'll say there's a movie I mentioned to you not too long ago that contains this kind of same essence, and you see that like I genuinely think when it comes to film, there's a lot of freedom that should be allowed. Not like crazy stuff like pedophilia and stuff like truthful because there's a movie like that where like a 17-year-old was like sucking off the actual director, and that was in the film. But I mean how adventurous like these female actors are to like show their bodies, but for the sake of a film, to be made in that way, not just to like sexualize, and attract, young eyes to that. And Anya Taylor-Joy, I think, is very bold, not just in that way. Like, that's a very small percentage of what I'm trying to say. But I think her roles are like, I'm going to do that shit for the sake of these films because that's what a fucking great actor does, range. And I think Jenna Ortega I don't think she's as talented as Anya Taylor-Joy, but I think she's on the same route as that. Okay. And I think she fucking loves films a lot. And she speaks, the way she speaks about it, like film and her favorite actors and stuff, it's incredible, man. And I think those are the people I look up to more than like I can't think of other like Sydney Sweeney. Like I don't really take her serious like that. In terms of films. Like she has a movie called Anyone But You, which is a rom-com, which I'm sure is sweet and all that stuff. And T Swizzle, shout out T Swizzle, Taylor Swift.
But I something that I would say in response to that. No, I mean in response to that, to related back to Mad Max, is that. There you definitely see a lot of like, especially in today's climate, people like trying to like studios forcing certain diversity and like women 100%. Empowerment and this and that.
That's a good thing. I was about to mention that too.
And people like just being like upset or annoyed about it, whatever the case is, or just finding it distasteful at times.
Because you can tell, right? Like you can tell when they forcibly put like it's not. You can tell when they're trying to really be like, no, everyone's included. Like that. This is and it's stupid. It's such a bad thing to do, man.
There are definitely movies that make it very obvious and blatant. Yeah. But to relate it back to Mad Max, look at Furiosa.
Yeah, look at every woman there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just you can say that even though this movie's called Mad Max and this movie is supposed to be about Max, it's more so about Furiosa.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. And that's one of the thoughts I had this last time watching it. That you want women empowerment, I would say, not even you want it not snug into the film, not like overly shadowing the film. No, you want it in a way that's like, okay, it's present, but like not in this just dickheaded way where you're like, yeah, we need to respect that Mad Max, you know, he's a strong character, but his cisgender white this and that is over. You know, it's like even right now we just watched a scene where the woman that were being held captive by Joe
Yep.
just took off their chastity belt, you know what I mean? And Furiosa is the one leading. It's so awesome because you don't need to oversaturate your point, you know. You can just write a good script where it just really has the necessary actors that are representing it without being so about it, you know.
Something I
it's
always
a childish noise to make. It's so childish.
Something I like to think about is just that, like, you know, I think a good story should
badass. That's the word. Sorry,
Furiosa super badass.
Badass, yeah.
But I think that, like, for any story, what should come first is the story and the plot.
Yeah,
like it shouldn't. Yes, characters matter,
100%,
and everything, but it's just you need to focus on what's more important.
Yeah.
Like, is it the character or is it the plot? Who drives the plot?
Yeah.
And, you know, some people will agree or disagree with that. I know someone like Alan Moore would disagree with that because he's gone on the record for saying that plot is just a tool. Like you shouldn't really care too much about the
characters
plot.
are to be stressed out more and stuff.
Right. And it's just
sorry, Alan Moore. We know you listen to this religiously.
He lives out in the middle of fucking nowhere with no cell phone because he's a fucking freak. But
imagine the first thing he listens to is this. He's like, he just skips to the middle. He fucking free. He's like, oh, back to the wilderness I go.
But it's just, this is really great in terms of just like sort of empowerment and things of that nature, because you don't even think about it.
Not one bit. There's a pregnant person. There's a person without an arm. There's a little person. There's a guy who has like just crazy looking face. And not once do you think like, oh, like I wonder if she's okay. Like you just think of the story that's going on. There's guns pointed to the back of the head of a pregnant woman right now. Oh, one of them. I don't know. But you know, it's insane. You don't care about anything else except just the fucking film and the badassness.
And it's just that's where this movie really fucking excels, I think. And I think, you know, the popularity behind Furiosa shows because now she's getting a prequel.
Nice.
And another cool thing about this movie too was that they actually released prequel comics for it as well, where there was one-shot issues focused on certain characters.
Nice.
So there was an Immortan Joe issue, there was a Max issue, and there was a Furiosa issue.
That's so fucking
and
cool,
a Nux
man.
issue as well.
That's so cool.
So you got to get a little backstory on all those characters in a one-shot issue.
That's fucking. And the other movies, do you get backstory on the characters in general? Does it lead up to this?
Well, the only character in this movie in the previous ones are Max.
Of course, the name Max.
So that also goes back to how this movie is a sort of a requel, because it's kind of rebooting things, but it's still in the same universe.
Gotcha.
But
damn, man.
Yeah, this movie is just fantastic, and like even to sort of think back to like the scenes where he sees a little girl, she's not in the previous movie.
So that was just something to throw in there.
So that
because that's how he found himself where he was in the beginning.
So that happened at some point between the last movie to this one.
So that's probably gonna be in the prequel. You think so?
Could be.
Ooh, you know what my favorite visual scene in this whole movie is?
Which one?
I think we'll get to it. I think we already passed it, but when the opening shot is of the scene is what seems to be mountains on the screen. It's just like a shot of like distance, mountains, and clouds, and then slowly after like a couple of seconds, Max gets up, and it turns out that it was just his head layered in the sand that made it look like mountains. That's my absolute favorite scene, like in terms of visuals, because there's a lot of great scenes otherwise, but that was really impressive to me because you will only appreciate the beauty of that when you watch it for the first time. Because you're just like, okay, like just another shot of the background. It's going to fade to something else.
Like this is like just...
The boom, boom, boom. Yeah, the 3 shots near the face of Furiosa is so good. So good.
Like the choreography throughout the film is just so incredible.
Absolutely.
Everything is so well thought out, like you said before. And it's just just that whole little scene where it's like while Max and Furiosa are fighting, Nux is getting the clip to get ready, and all the girls are trying to fight Nux, so he can't give Max a clip. And finally, Max is on top of Furiosa, and Nux is just there's a clip for you.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
It's so well thought out.
And it really, you know, a lot of times we'll talk about movies and we'll get into the facts and this and that. And having the movie on is actually pretty dope because, you know, reacting to it, like we've seen this movie a bunch of times. You know what I mean? And it's still so good. Like,
still slaps. Still fucking slaps.
Yeah, it's like fucking Ice-T, bro. Always hits. Even if you don't want, you're like, That's pretty fucking good. It's like a peach Snapple. You know what I mean?
Hell
You already
yeah.
know that peach Snapple is gonna be good. And if you're like, yo, you want a sip? You'll be like, I'll take a sip. I'll take a little. I'll take My bad, bro. Here's another one. With Chinese food. Ooh, peach
But
Snapple.
it depends on the spot though.
Oh, that 100% on the spot. The spot gotta have bulletproof glass,
Mm-hmm.
100%, and gotta have the kid working, doing his homework in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know what sounds good right now? The barbecue fries with the barbecue sauce all over it. You ever had that shit,
Yeah,
bro?
yeah.
Oh, sesame chicken. I remember I used to order this thing called spicy chicken.
Okay.
All right,
Let me guess. It was spicy.
it made your breath stink and your farts. Ooh, but I don't think it was called spicy chicken. So I would order it all the time, and I'd be like, "Hey, let me get this and this and this and this, and can I also get a spicy chicken over rice?" And she'll be like, "A spicy chicken?" That's how she talked.
Yeah.
All right, people, and I'll be like, "Yeah, a spicy chicken." And she'll be like, "Oh, okay," and I'll be like, "All right," and then I would get it. And that's my story.
Nice. Nice.
But she sounded
Hell
like
yeah. Hell yeah, dog. That's what I'm fucking talking
yeah,
about.
man, that was a good story. I think that's what it's called, but she always bless you. So thank you, lady. But then they closed down.
But I got some other facts for you with this movie.
Yeah,
too.
please tell me. I'm so curious because honestly, man, when it comes to the movie, I would be very incredibly interested in what I would want to hear somebody like who didn't like this movie like say why.
Yeah.
Because I get it, like because I mean I don't, but I can get if you.
It's
don't,
like me with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I understand, but
why? Yeah. Like if you don't like this, I would assume it's because you don't like a more imaginative film.
it's because you don't like women.
Yeah, you just hate women and cripples and little people.
Yeah.
Halle Berry,
And
black
Tom
people,
Hardy.
and Tom Hardy, shoulders,
White people.
white people. But yeah, it would be super. So if you have any comments, bad comments, please reach out to me personally. My email is. No, I'm kidding. Too many motherfuckers got my email address out here.
Even Link's got it.
I would tell people, fucking you. I put on my email. I gave one person my email address, or CFO actually, and I'm not gonna say what my email address is. And one time he signed me up for. This is a long time ago. I'm talking a long time ago. He signed me up for verse of the week, like a Bible verse of the week.
Yep.
So I got an email from that, and I was really fucking upset because I was like, "Yo, this is my personal information. I'm a young man. I can't have this shit out here, right?" So now, cut to.
I'm just a wee lad.
I was a wee lad. Cut to 2024, like 8 years later. I think apparently everybody thinks it's funny to use my email address for the receipts. So I'm getting email address from Philadelphia. I'm getting email from this fucking cafe in Sunnyside. I'm getting, God damn it, stop using my email address.
You saying this is gonna make people do it even more. You realize that,
Jesus
right?
Christ, bro. And I want to say it because the email address is hilarious. I'll say it to you, but you have to bleep it out.
I have that.
I know, bro. I know. But it's just to me when I say it, like you want this to be something crucial and very not, unserious.
I always thought that was just like your side email.
No, that was supposed to be my legit, serious email. And now I'm getting fucking everybody's receipts. Gee, this is not Mad Max. This is not Banana Bread. Hell yeah, bro. All right.
This is not a lovely day.
Nah, bro.
That's another quote I
Nah.
fucking absolutely love in this movie.
Wait, what quote
Oh,
is
what a
that?
day.
Oh, what a
What
day.
a lovely day.
Who says that?
Nux.
Oh,
when,
wow.
when in the beginning of the movie, when they're starting
and they
to
have like
drive
an
out.
accent. He has an accent too, right?
Uh-huh.
Almost. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
All right,
But-
we'll come back to the movie. Sorry, that's my little rant.
I got you. So here's another fun fact for you.
What's up, dog?
The guitarist,
Uh-huh.
he is a musician,
Nice.
obviously. His name is Sean Hape, and he's better known as this artist called Iota.
Iota, IODA.
IOTA.
Yo, he's a badass. He's actually one of my favorite characters, like side characters. He's cool as fuck. Yo, I'm absolutely sure of it. Somebody has a tattoo of that.
Probably.
I would fucking more than likely get a tattoo of that on my fucking like just back of my thigh, big ass thigh, and just fucking cool as fuck.
And what was also found out is that, again, talking back to the practical effects of it, is that guitar did shoot out actual flames.
That's so
Not only
crazy.
that, but he got to control the flames with the whammy bar.
Oh my god!
Not only that, but the guitar weighed 132 pounds.
Jesus Christ, that's insane, bro. I hope did it win any awards? You got those facts?
I should. I should. I don't remember.
I thought you were gonna be like, yeah.
I don't. It's because I don't think it really won anything, to be honest. Because
Yeah,
because
it should have won some
It
awards.
was so like under the radar for a lot of people, regardless that it
Uh-huh.
like did well for its franchise.
Mhm.
But I got the awards for you right here. It's gotten Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Action.
Yeah, Nickelodeon, Nickelodeon Slime Award.
Fuck you. Critics' Choice is legit.
No, I was just
But it did win an Oscar for Best Costume Design.
okay. It should have.
It won best Oscar for Best Sound Mixing.
Nice.
Won an Oscar for Best Film Editing.
Okay.
Those are sort of the big ones. It won another Critics' Choice one for Best Actress for Charlize Theron.
Nice.
Um,
Oh, this guy with the nipples. I wanted to bring him up. So this
yeah.
penguin looking guy is like, we'll go back to the woods real quick. There's an evil character who looks like the penguin almost.
Mhm.
He has like a suit on. He's a big fat guy. His feet are disgusting. They're like layered and fat and just gross.
yeah, he's
and
got gout.
He's got OD gout. He's got gout. And then, but funny enough, in his suit, he has cutouts for his nipples that are, have like nipple rings attached to it, like with chains.
Yeah.
And in distress, he just rubs his nipples. I don't know if you saw it.
Yep.
But he just rubs them when he's in distress. It's pretty funny. I kind of do the same thing.
But another cool fact is that the whole movie was shot in sequence.
So
And-
one after the other, one shot after the other.
Yes,
That's awesome.
So what? And people might hear it and they're just kind of like,
No, sometimes
yeah,
you fucking
and-
gotta do one
and-
thing beforehand and everything.
But it's because more what's the word? Traditionally, films are filmed
Shoot the
out of
end.
order.
yeah,
Like they film movies out of order to basically fit people's schedules and when they can shoot at locations depending on contracts and things
Yeah.
like that. So it all gets done on a specific schedule
got you,
that accommodates everyone.
got you.
So that's why generally movies get filmed out of order,
Mhm.
but this is one of the rare films that was shot in sequence.
That's amazing.
I don't have any. I never found any reason as to why they shot in sequence.
Probably just real. What's it called? Like just a happy coincidence. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
real. That's cool shit
But
though.
another cool thing, that jacket he puts on is a classic Mad Max jacket.
That's why he says that's my jacket. Oh,
Yeah.
that's my jacket. You know,
that's my jacket.
that's my car. Hey, Mad Max is bad possessive, bro.
Yeah.
It's like that's my shit, bro. Give it back. But I guess in a post-apocalyptic world,
You would
you
be.
gotta be possessive
Yeah.
because your shit right there, and it probably has some importance to the old characters.
Another cool thing. So many, like around the time when this movie came out,
Yeah.
especially Comic-Con, so many cosplayers.
I can imagine.
With like Max,
Nux,
and Furiosa, and
yeah.
Nux, and like one of the women even.
I would say also when you really think about it, like aside from Nux's chest, there's not really a lot going on in terms of costume, but it still pops.
Yeah,
Like, you can
I mean, like,
cosplay
he's
Max.
got like the scars on
Yeah,
his lips.
you can cosplay these people easily,
Yeah.
except Joe.
Oh yeah,
And Morton
oh, yeah.
Joe, yeah, that
Or-
motherfucker
or the
looks
pig
crazy.
dude.
Yeah, those motherfuckers. I mean, there's a lot of people that look crazy, but a lot of them like it's very simple makeup and stuff like that, and it's
Just got to look dirty.
yeah,
So just
yeah, pretty much.
don't put on deodorant during the winter, and you're good.
Hell yeah, bro. Little life hack number 17. Don't put on deodorant in the winter. You save deodorant. Deodorant is expensive, bro.
It is.
So expensive.
Thank you for buying me deodorant that one
I
time.
got you, bro. I mean, unchapped lip.
Can you buy me some chapstick next,
bro?
please?
I won't. But I've been stealing from CVS, man. No, so
On the record?
what's it called? I was gonna say amicably. What's it called? Allegedly. Allegedly. I went to CVS and I walked out. I was paying for my stuff like a civilian, and then I was
And you were like, "What am I doing?"
I had the seltzer water in my armpit because I had to hold mad stuff. I don't pay for bags, bro. I don't pay for bags
Nah.
unless I have to, but I won't. And then I was checking out, and the guy was like, "Have a good day." I was like, "Thanks." And then I walked, and then I realized I didn't scan the seltzer water, and I was like, and so the next time I went to grab like my stuff, my vitamins, and I got a seltzer water again. But then I grabbed the peanut M&Ms, right? And I had the peanut M&Ms and the seltzer water in the same hand, and then I scanned it, and then I put them both down at the same time. So I didn't pay for the M&Ms.
Damn, you are
Man.
allegedly a criminal.
Yo, and then I was very hungover. I was working, and we stopped by, and I went to Starbucks, right, in the city, and these motherfuckers were chatting. fucking Starbucks workers. Oh, how was your day? Oh, it was good. Like, shut the fuck up. No, I'm kidding. I used to work for Starbucks, so I guess I've been that person before. But I was in line and I just grabbed the juice, and they were talking, not paying attention. They didn't give a fuck about me, bro. It was actually hilarious how much they did not care about me. And if I had, and you know,
you were just standing there like, so.
Yeah, I was just waiting. And had I not been working, I would have been like less flustered. I would have been like, whatever. They're having a good chat with their coworkers. So then I just slipped the juice into my sweater pocket and I just looked straight at them. But they don't look at me. And then I walked out with that juice, bro. I've been a thief lately, bro. I've been a thief.
That's why you're wearing the hat.
That's why I'm wearing this beanie right now.
It's actually a shiesty.
That's what I was. Yeah, when I leave, I'm just fucking. I'm gonna steal your stuff.
I have to save the city. I'm Daredevil.
Hell yeah, bro. But yeah, that's a little quick snippet of my life.
I got one last fact.
Okay, perfect.
This one isn't too crazy.
Okay.
But the editor to this film, Margaret Sixel, is George Miller's wife.
Oh, nice. This movie, even the facts are really pleasing, bro. Everything about this movie is sweet as fuck. Not really, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, this movie is just it is so incredible from beginning to end.
Yes, it is.
It's like it. There's even a black and white version of this movie.
That's dope.
I saw this movie at home when it first came out because I didn't go watch it in theaters when it first came out, but I absolutely fell in love with it. And I forced my friends to come with me to go watch it when we re-released it in IMAX.
Because you know it was gonna be a banger.
Yeah. And I had already seen it by that point.
But I mean, like when you show somebody a movie and sometimes you're like, oh, I wonder if gonna like it. But this movie is more like you're gonna like this.
Yeah.
Like if you're lucky that this is gonna be the first time you watch it.
And we watched that shit in IMAX, and
I can imagine,
that
bro.
shit. Oh my god,
that scene with the fucking sand halfway. That scene must have been crazy in IMAX. I remember I tried taking a picture of the movie in IMAX. They don't let you.
Yeah, they do.
They really fuck up your
Can't
shit.
beat that, dog.
Yeah, but I'm sure if I get a digital camera, I mean those little cameras that you. You know what I'm talking about? I know you know what I'm talking about. Except
imagine you take the picture and then it's just a security guard like, the fuck you doing?
Like, fuck. Nah, I'm super excited. I was gonna ask if there's gonna be like another movie afterwards, and I'm very excited that there will be.
They do want to make a sequel. They just haven't started working on it yet.
Yeah.
They're focusing a little more on the prequels.
Yeah.
But this also kind of came in popularity with the Mad Max video game too, if you remember that.
That's what I was gonna say that I knew Mad Max from, and I've always wanted to play that game because the cars in the desert. But have you played it?
I played a little bit of it. I didn't get super into it.
What console was it on?
I think it was on all platforms.
Yeah.
But it came out the same year as the movie.
Was it on PS1?
Yeah, even on PS1.
I'm gonna play it on the fucking shit you got me, bro.
No, I'm fucking with you.
Fuck.
I just said the game came out the same year as the movie. You motherfucker.
Fuck.
But
I don't listen to you, bro.
But yeah, like the game, very repetitive from what people say, but people do like that game.
Yeah, man.
And so it's just my cousin Nicholas. We didn't shout him out or his
friends.
friends.
Hey, Nicholas. Sorry. Thank you for fucking listening, bro. Thank you and your homies for listening. We appreciate you very much.
Thanks, dog.
I hope we will shout you out the first thing next episode.
Hell yeah.
If we were just fucking the fucking whole episode, 50 minutes, just Nicholas.
Whoa. Well, let's be careful of what you were saying there, buddy.
We're going to fix that in post because I can't have that out there in this world.
Yeah, how about in the Mad Max world? Do you think anyone would care?
We got to put Nicholas. That's what we'll put into
yeah.
Because you motherfuckers are crazy.
But yeah, thanks guys for watching.
Thank you so much for listening. And seriously, check out this movie if you have not seen it. I can't believe please take that. Check out this fucking movie, man, because it's so good. I mean, it doesn't need any more hype than it already has. Of course, we're just somebody that just
we're just sucking this movie off.
Basically, George Miller and his wife. But again, this is the beauty of this podcast because I would have probably never. I mean, maybe, of course, in the future, maybe would have watched it. But of course, I've heard about it. I haven't watched it until this. I actually watched it a long time ago. So for it to still hold up now, I'm sure 10 years from now, this movie is going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think I already said it, but I think this could definitely be like a cult classic down the line for sure.
No doubt in my mind.
Like, you know, and it's just so incredible from beginning to end.
Hell yeah, bro.
Like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
This movie is such a hell yeah.
10 out of 10 for me. 10 out of 10 for me.
Like, it's like that meme, like, guys will look at this and think one thing.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hell yeah.
These days, they'll think of this shit. They'll be like, oh, actually, I don't think it's okay. Oh, hey.
Me, boy.
No, you're awesome. Say
but
hi.
but I think
That's perfect.
that's a pretty good end right
That's
here.
a perfect ending. Thank you for listening. Check out the YouTube, Earth, Mind, and Matter.
Yeah.
Listen on Spotify to all the episodes.
On
Interact
Apple
with the button.
Podcasts too, Amazon,
Google
until
Podcast
that's
is going
dead.
away very soon. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Boom.
Boom.